Why is concrete a popular commercial construction material? You know concrete, you see it all the time, but why is it used so much? Why is it used over steel in a lot of cases? Why is it used on the superstructure versus things like framing or cold form metal framing? Why do we love concrete? Why are we fanatics about it? I'm going to give you some ideas right now. First of all, concrete has historical significance. Not only was concrete used in locations like ancient Rome, and so there's a definite historical precedent there, but really it was reinvented in the 19th century with the advent of Portland cement, a new mixture that allowed us to do so much more with concrete. And it became a popular building material, and like most things in construction, because it was really the first dynamic building material that we were exposed to with such historic significance, it really has become mostly popular, and that is the reason that we use it so much in commercial construction. Number two, from an engineering standpoint, concrete is a versatile product. So let me go through these one by one. Number one, strength and durability. Concrete is amazing when it comes to strength and durability. And what you can do with concrete from an engineering standpoint and its admixtures now is absolutely fantastic. And so that is one of the reasons that concrete has stayed a popular building material in commercial construction. In addition to fire resistance, concrete is absolutely amazing when it comes to fire resistance, separating by floor or by partition horizontally, especially with shear walls. And so you have an amazing opportunity when you design concrete structures and use concrete because when you experience a fire, it deals fairly well with it, and it does not emit toxic fumes. It does not turn into other chemicals. It's pretty resistant when it comes to fire. The other thing is longevity and low maintenance. I mean, this is just absolutely amazing. Concrete up to a certain age gets stronger and stronger, and so it's very durable. It has longevity. It is very low maintenance. As long as you don't have leaks in the structure that's rusting out the reinforcing, right? And there are other things, right, that you need to prevent. But as long as that assembly has been built properly, it will get stronger over time, and it is very low maintenance. The other thing is that concrete is versatile. It can be placed, not poured, placed in many different shapes. It can be placed in cubes. It can be placed in columns, circular columns. It can be placed in arcs. Like you can, depending on your ability to form it up, concrete is versatile when it comes to shapes and engineering designs. The other thing is like designers are so used to concrete that we can get dynamic and use it in so many different versatile ways. That is one of the main reasons that we continue to use it, because it is just so versatile. The other thing is it has an absolutely amazing load-bearing capacity. So all around, concrete is amazing when it comes to structures. And there's always a new admixture, a new type of reinforcing. They have all kinds of types of reinforcing and placing methods and new ways to install formwork. It's just great, and the innovation is absolutely fantastic. Don't believe me? Go to World of Concrete, but just don't go there to get drunk and waste time and spend the company's money, but definitely just go there and you will see a myriad of new technologies, which really when you factor those in, you now have millions of different opportunities to use concrete as a versatile product. Third, this is a big one, is that you have available materials and it's cost effective. So here's a couple of considerations when it comes to that. Number one, we have an abundance of raw materials, right? I have never, maybe I'm wrong, maybe you all will criticize me and put it in the comments below. Actually, we'd love for you to comment below, not criticize, but I've never been in a concrete shortage, right? I have had it take a little bit of time to schedule concrete from the batch plant because of demand, but you don't experience the same difficulty like you would with steel, right? A lot of the steel that we have is imported, and so from a superstructure standpoint, as long as you can get the reinforcing, concrete is readily available. The other thing is affordable installation. We have experts everywhere that know how to install concrete. Even when you compare concrete and steel, it's a much different world. Like I can go build you a concrete structure. I have experience with formwork systems, with reinforcing, with finishing. I have experience with all of the field engineering aspects of it and certain parts of the formwork design and the design itself, and I know how to manage it. When it comes to steel, yes, I could probably do some of the same things, but it's a little bit different world. Everybody knows about concrete, and so you have crews that are really, really good at this, available, ready to go at cheaper prices. And most of the time you have local sourcing. So you can get the aggregate, you can get the cement, and anything else you need from an admixture standpoint, typically locally from local mines, and that means it's more available and it's cheaper, and you can get it quicker. The other thing is, from an environmental standpoint and a sustainability standpoint, concrete is an amazing product. Let me give you a couple of things there. Energy efficiency. Concrete has a high thermal mass, meaning that it can absorb and store heat, which is fantastic. This helps with heating and cooling. It helps to regulate the internal temperatures in a structure. The other thing is you're able to recycle concrete. Most of the time when you demolish this, as long as you can separate the reinforcing from the concrete, you can break it up, and at a minimum, use it for base or millings. And at a minimum, use it for base or as aggregate for other mixtures. The other thing is it's pretty easy to repair a concrete structure, and so that means that it lasts longer. And then once you have the concrete structure, it has a very low environmental impact once you've impacted the site, obviously. And number 5, one of my favorite things is it's a beautiful product to use, not only for flat work, but for exposed concrete and throughout your structures. In fact, I work for a general contractor that loves self-performed concrete. They had exposed concrete floors in their office building. They had exposed board form walls, exposed decorative columns, type 3 cement finishes for exposed concrete columns. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with concrete that architects absolutely love. So you have a variety of finishes, different applications, and you can really use it as a beautiful architectural feature. And when you mix, from a design standpoint, mix concrete with glass and beautiful exterior systems and interior finishes and exposed ceilings, you know, with sometimes even rustic finishes when you're talking about walls and columns, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And I would much rather look at that than a steel column. Let me just say that. So it's a beautiful product to use from an aesthetic standpoint. And so concrete is mainly used because of its historical foundations, its engineering benefits, its design flexibility, environmental benefits, and aesthetics. I love concrete. And I also recommend, because it's such a mainstay in construction, that if you get experience with self-performed concrete and are able to grow up in that world, all the better. Concrete is fantastic. We are addicted to it, and we are raving fans, and we will always use it as one of the main materials in commercial construction. And so I hope you've enjoyed this. In the description below, I'm going to turn this into a blog post that you can use, and that it will now be searchable on the internet to educate us about why we use concrete as a favorite in commercial construction. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.